everyone. Today, Olga's going to do a presentation on ways that you can make $150 in 15 minutes in your practice, just treating skin imperfections. She's going to talk about how you can treat skin tags, sunspots, sebaceous hyperplasias, Milia, capillaries, fibromas, much more. So many things you can do with this machine. So I'm excited for this. How you can incorporate ThermoClear into your existing treatments, because that's the key. And then we're going to talk about how you can be set up to earn $150 in just 15 minutes. And imagine doing that 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. So that's awesome. And then how you can offer every client a ThermoClear, because I think that's really important. How do you approach this with your clients and let them know it's available? And then that's how you're going to get that repeat business. And then at the very end, we're going to do that question and answer that we talked about. So let's take a peek at the next slide, because we talked a little bit about the classes. This class is around 60 minutes today. And we're going to have time at the very end for your questions. So don't forget to put them in. You will need to be present to win any giveaway. So if your name is selected and you're not here, they're going to have to pick another winner. So stay to the very end. And there's also going to be a recording of this class on the EC YouTube in the next couple of days. So if you want to rewatch it, it'll be available for you. And then what we're going to do is show you the two systems we have available for you. We have the ThermoClear and the ThermoClear Pro. This is the ThermoClear system. This comes with 100 probes. You have your foot pedal, sharps container, your marketing material. You get a training DVD manual, certificate. The trolley is going to be sold separately. If you want to get that, is something you can get separately. Has a lifetime warranty. You also get a free EC swag bundle, which is always fun. And you get a free Hail and Hush bundle, or you could choose double supply. So that's kind of up to you. It's normally $5,900, and the price that you can take is $5,400, and you're going to get free shipping on that, which is awesome because this is heavy, and to get it shipped, it's expensive. So it's nice to get that free shipping. And then the next one we have is the ThermoClear Pro, which Thomas is going to pull up in a quick second. And this one is normally $6,400, and it is only $5,900. And this also comes with your ThermoClear system, just the Pro system, 100 probes, foot pedal, sharps container, marketing material, training DVD, manual training certificate. Again, the trolley sold separately. Oh, we can help you with that. The lifetime warranty, which is super, super important. You get the EC swag bag, and then you can pick whether you want the Hail and Hush bundle or you want the double supplies. I'm going to introduce to you Olga Shine. She is the senior medical aesthetics educator with 15 years of experience in the medical spa industry. She has partnered with estheticians and medical professionals in both the United States and abroad, providing training in the field of medical level spa treatments, including microdermabrasion, radiofrequency, and chemical peels. Olga's passion for knowledge in the dynamic, ever-changing skincare industry ensures that she stays informed with the latest technologies and cutting-edge procedures. And she's also a personal friend, and I adore her. So Olga, I'm going to hand this over to you.
Hi, Sheri. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to teach this webinar today because ThermoClear is an amazing system. ThermoClear offers a treatment that is not offered in many facilities. You can treat so many imperfections with our system. So what is ThermoClear? ThermoClear is a radio frequency device that utilizes high and low radio frequency to dehydrate skin imperfections. This is a class 1 non-medical system, so you are able to use it as an esthetician in most states. You do have to check with your local state board to make sure that it is within your scope. But because this is a class 1 non-medical device, you are able to use it as an esthetician in most states in the US. So that's super exciting. That's the biggest question that I get asked. Can I use this being an esthetician? Do I need a medical director? And the answer is 90% of the time you don't. You can use this because it works on the epidermis. You are not penetrating the skin. You are dehydrating these imperfections. You are not removing them. That's the biggest thing. Is a lot of the times people say, I can remove that for you. Well, you're not a doctor, so you should not be removing anything. So you, at that point, are just treating. And that also comes to the next question is, will they need more than one treatment? So with the ThermoClear, we recommend that your clients come back 6 weeks later for a follow-up treatment. That follow-up treatment is not included in the cost of the initial treatment that they're paying for. So just like you are doing a series of microderms or chemical peels or microneedling or laser treatments, this is very similar with the ThermoClear. They will need 2 to 3 treatments at most. And a lot of the imperfections are actually treated in just one treatment. Yes, you heard me right. You can treat skin tags in just one treatment. You could treat sebaceous hyperplasia in just one treatment. You could treat Milia in one treatment. The things that usually require a follow-up is going to be your capillaries and your sunspots. So what can you treat with the ThermoClear? You could treat skin tags, Sheri angiomas, fibromas, Milia, sebaceous hyperplasia, keratosis, spider capillaries, pores, deep blackheads. You can take out the redness out of the inflammation of post-inflammatory acne. So there is so much that you can do with the system. And the amazing thing is that it's an add-on to any existing treatment that you're already offering. So if your client is already on your treatment bed, getting, let's say, a microdermabrasion or getting a facial, you can add the ThermoClear after. It does not need to be a standalone treatment. And all you need is 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, you can make an extra $150. And you say, well, do you think my client will pay that much? Absolutely, they will. Because if a client was to go to a dermatologist and treat a skin tag or treat some spider capillaries, a dermatologist is charging around $75 to $100 per skin tag. You can treat around 5 or 6 skin tags in 15 minutes. In addition, you can treat some Sheri angiomas and capillaries. So your client is definitely getting their money's worth. They are paying $150 and it's costing you a little over $1 a treatment, because the only consumables that you have with the ThermoClear are your probes. So I want to go a little bit more just to introduce the machine. So ThermoClear is manufactured here in the US. It comes with a lifetime warranty. It utilizes the high and low radio frequency, as I had mentioned, and you can treat benign epidermal skin imperfections. That's amazing, okay? Your client will experience minimal pain and little to no downtime. So when we say little to no downtime, they are going to have some scabbing after their treatment, but that doesn't mean that they can't go work out or they can't go back to their regular skincare routine. That's why we say there's no downtime. But it is important to let your client know what to expect. So when you are doing this treatment, they are going to feel it. And afterwards, they are going to have some scabbing. So this is not something that you do before a wedding or before a big photo shoot. But other than that, they can go back to their regular routines right afterwards. They can go straight to work. They can go to work out, whatever it is that they plan on doing with the rest of their day. With the ThermoClear treatments, you get incredible results. You get results after just one treatment. And like I said, some imperfections are gone just after one treatment. So your client is definitely excited and definitely will pay the $150. And there you have it. You just made an extra $150 in 15 minutes. You are usually doing a facial that takes an hour, or you're doing microdermabrasion that takes an hour, or you're doing microneedling that also is included into an hour facial, right? So this is a great add-on, and you can add this on to any client that comes in. Everybody has something to get treated. When you think it's just one thing, when you actually do a skin analysis and you evaluate their skin, you'll see that they have several skin imperfections that they want treated. And when you point those imperfections out, they say, wow, I've been wanting to treat that for so long. And I have gone to even a doctor's office and they had nothing for my sebaceous hyperplasia. And you'll say, well, guess what? Now I have something, and you'll deliver amazing results to your client. So your probes are disposable. That is the only consumables that you have for the system. We do sell the probes. You can purchase them on our website, but you will receive 100 probes with the purchase of your device. Afterwards, they are $60 a box for 50 probes. So that's why we estimate it's around a little over $1 per treatment. So in this slide, you can see all the imperfections that you could treat. We will educate you. So we provide training. We provide education. We want you to feel comfortable using the device. So in our training, we will educate you on how to use the machine. We will educate you on what you can and can't treat. And we will also educate you on how to properly sell this treatment. So you will make a lot of money with the system. It's important that you stay out of trouble and you stay within your scope of practice. And again, this is something that you will learn in the training, but we always do our ABCDs of cancer detection. So when in doubt, send them to a dermatologist. That's the most important information that I can give you on the ThermoClear. If you don't know what it is, please don't treat it. Your client will be thankful when you send them to a dermatologist. And if the dermatologist does think it's just pigmentation or it is just seborrheic keratosis, then they can write a note and they can come back to you for that treatment. Don't be shy to say no. It's better to refer them out when you're in doubt. And that's the biggest piece of advice that I can definitely give you. Again, we will provide all of this information in the training. We treat imperfections, we don't remove them. So it's important to let your clients know what to expect. Your job is to help them understand what they see as normal. We offer them post-treatment instructions. And again, when you get your machine in your box, you will have an operating manual. That includes a treatment card. We created a wonderful treatment card that tells you exactly what imperfections to treat, how to treat them, what probe to use, what setting to be on. And so you can always refer to that. So it's truly great because even when you get training, as soon as you're near your machine, you ask yourself, what did my educator say? What setting am I supposed to be on? So we created this wonderful treatment card. It looks just like this in your operating manual. And we call it our cheat sheet. So on this cheat sheet, it tells you the imperfection. It tells you what probe. It tells you what setting, how to treat, and whether or not you need a conductor. So you'll always have this to refer to, okay? Also in your box, you will get magnifying lens glasses. You will get marketing material. We also have things available on our website, marketing materials in PDF versions, so you can either print or upload them to your website. We have a very active Instagram page that offers you a lot of support. We post a lot of before and after images on there that you can use for your before and after portfolio while you're starting to build your own, okay? So the biggest thing that will help you sell this treatment is to show your clients the results that you have been able to achieve for your past clients, right? So if your client is on your bed and they have some capillaries, you could show them a picture of treatments that you've done in the past and the results you were able to deliver to your client. And that will definitely help you sell this treatment, okay? But while you're building your own portfolio of that, you can use our pictures from our Instagram page. We are always posting new videos on how to perform the treatment, on different tricks, tips to help you be successful with the ThermoClear machine. So definitely follow us on Instagram at ThermoClear_USA, and you will have a lot of support on there. The machine does come with two different types of probes. So you'll have your probes right here. This is where I say you get the 100 probes, you get 50 of each, or you could choose to get double supply. So you would get, more marketing material, more probes, instead of the Hail and Hush. It's totally up to you which bundle you decide to go with. But one box of probes is insulated. That's used for cherry angiomas, sebaceous hyperplasia, capillaries. So your insulated probes are going to be used more than your stainless. Your stainless probes are used for skin tags and keratosis. So this is kind of, we went over how you can charge, $100 to $150. Again, look, if you are just charging 100, if you're in a smaller town and you believe that your clients won't pay 150, we still want you to obviously sell this treatment to your clients and make a lot of money. So if you were just to charge $100 and, you only saw 8 clients, you can make $800 per month. But I guarantee you that once you start using this machine, you will start using it on everybody, because ThermoClear is not just to be used on the face. You could treat the hands, you could treat the décolleté area, you could treat the back, you could treat the stomach area. A lot of women have angiomas on their stomach, on their back. You could treat the legs. So really you can treat the entire body with a ThermoClear machine. Today, I'm actually going to demonstrate on how to treat angiomas and how easy it is. And my client has some on his back. So that's what I'll demonstrate a little bit later on for you. But let's say that you did charge $100 for a ThermoClear treatment and you're able to just do 1 client per day. You can enter additional, so if you were to do 1 client a day, okay, and that's $500 per week, that's an additional $2,000 per month, okay? We really do want you to try to charge $150 because it's definitely worth it, okay? So if you can help 1 client per day at $150, you can earn $750 per week, and that's an extra $3,000 per month. And again, this treatment is quick. Each imperfection takes just a couple of seconds to do, okay? Make a list of potential clients. This is something that I really like to do. I also like to do a small spa party. Let's say my clients get the machine. I recommend to do a small spa party. I recommend to invite 10 of your best clients that really care about skincare, that really care about the imperfections that they have, that really will want this treatment, right? So what you do is you invite them and you give every single client a free treatment. It costs you a little bit over $1. You treat 1 imperfection for them. They'll say, wow, or oh my God, because they have never experienced something like this or seen a treatment that is able to treat right on the spot. And I guarantee you that they will sign up for a actual session. And there you go. You just made $150 and just by doing that. So it's up to you if you want to do that. But really, ThermoClear allows you to correct the top 5 skin irregulation on your existing clients. Okay. So super important. The hyperpigmentation, the capillaries, those Milia, Angiomas, Sebaceous Hyperplasia, those are all things that are really bothering your clients and they really, really do want them gone. Okay. So here we have some before and after, so you could see, what you're able to achieve with the machine. The client on your left, she has some fibromas, some small little skin tags, and then you could see, that's when it's healed. So when you first do the treatment, your client will leave your facility looking great, and the scabbing will come on in about 1 to 2 days. And it takes anywhere from 7 to 10 days to heal. But again, it's nothing terrible. It's just a little scab. And I always tell my client that I've done my job and it's now their turn to do their job. You can see a lot of the before and after images on our Instagram page and on Esthetician Connection. I know Sheri loves doing this treatment, and she's treated her hands several times. And she said that there's never been anything like that for sunspots. So with the ThermoClear, as we had said, there's so many different imperfections that you could treat. And there are so many things that you can offer to your client that you weren't able to do before. So if you just have them in for that facial and your client wanted to treat, sebaceous hyperplasia, there's really nothing that's out there, right? You can't use a lancet for it like you can for Milia. So now you'll be able to offer this treatment for your client. A lot of the times we'll get asked, well, what kind of clients should I avoid? What kind of, disorders should I avoid? You can offer this to any client. We don't recommend treating clients that are pregnant, and that's more for your own liability, just like you would with microneedling or with chemical peels. Anybody with a pacemaker is totally fine, or metal implants. We just want an okay from their doctor, just like you would get with any other treatment. Any kind of open wounds, any blood disorders, we recommend that you stay away from that until that's fully healed. But other than that, you could treat anybody. You're going to ask yourself 5 questions when you start the treatment, okay? And you're going to ask yourself, who am I treating? Because you can treat any Fitzpatrick skin type with this machine. That's the amazing things. A lot of the other systems that are similar to this on the market will only treat at a high radio frequency. With the ThermoClear, you could treat with high and low radio frequency. And because you can do that, you could treat a Fitzpatrick 1, or you could treat a Fitzpatrick 4 or 5, right? And on your treatment card that I showed you, it'll actually have a range of settings. So when it has a setting that says 90-100, your 90 is going to be for the higher Fitzpatrick, and your 100 will be more for the lower Fitzpatrick. And we will go over all of that. We want to make sure that you feel confident in using the machine, and you will be fully educated. You're also going to ask yourself, what am I treating? So what is it that I'm treating today? Am I treating a Sheri angioma? Am I treating a fibroma? That will bring you to the next question of which probe do I use? And then you'll decide, are you going to use the insulated or are you going to use the stainless probe? And then you're going to ask yourself, do I need a conductor? Okay. Certain imperfections have water, blood, or sebum inside to dehydrate, and certain imperfections are dry. So your imperfections that have water, blood, or sebum inside are your sebaceous hyperplasia, your Sheri angiomas, your Milia, your capillaries, and skin tags and sunspots are fully dry. So you would need to add a conductor. Okay. Again, this is everything that we will go over on the training. You will watch a training webinar prior to us doing training. We do offer online live training, just like this, face-to-face, where you can answer questions, where we show you techniques on how to properly use the machine, on how to sell the machine, on the clients that you shouldn't treat, on the things that you should avoid. And then we also have you watch a webinar before. That's about 2.5 hours. And we do offer live training. We have educators all over the US. We might not have one in your state. You can travel to the closest educator nearby to get training, or you could do the training online. It is super detailed. It's live, and I do these trainings all over the world. So I promise you, you will feel super confident afterwards and ready to, utilize your ThermoClear machine. So now we are going to start with a demo. So I have my client here. I am going to first just show you the machine. This is what the ThermoClear system looks like. And you have your on and off button. This is where your foot pedal connects. This is your probe holder. And you just have a couple of settings. It's super easy to use. It's not complicated. And that operating manual does teach you how to use the settings and what setting you should be on, okay? I just want to show really quick how easy it is to set up your machine when you're about to start treating a client. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your probe holder, okay? And you are going to take, each probe is individually packaged and the probe is sterile, okay? So you're going to open your probe just like so, and you are going to insert the probe into the probe holder, okay? And now you're ready to do your treatment. That's how easy it is. It takes just a couple of seconds, and then you are going to start using the ThermoClear device, okay? So I have, I'm going to sanitize my hands, and I'm going to get ready. You can use gloves, or you can make sure that your hands are completely clean. You are not touching the lesions. Only the probe is touching that has the current at the tip. So the current is the heat. What you're going to be doing is you are going to be dehydrating these skin imperfections. So I'm going to show you how to use the machine, and I'm going to show you how amazing it is to perform this treatment. Today, we're going to treat some cherry angiomas. Afterwards, we will go to our question and answers, and please feel free to ask anything. I do apologize for the PowerPoint not working towards the end, but we will include that in an email and we will upload that. Again, you can, I'm so excited to do this training and education with you. And now I'll show you the actual treatments. Give me just one moment. So right now I'm going to set my machine to 150. That is what we use to treat the cherry angiomas, okay? So my client has some cherry angiomas on his back, and you could see the cherry angioma right there, okay? The machine does come with this light, okay? The light helps you to see the imperfections better. I'll have my client just hold the light over like this, okay? And then that way you guys can really see it. Okay, so what you're using is a probe, okay? You are just going to tap on the cherry angioma to dehydrate, okay? So you will see how that cherry angioma just disappears right in front of your eyes, okay? It took just a couple of seconds and it's gone, okay? That will scab. So with the cherry angiomas, it will heat up the blood inside. So it will either turn brown or blanch just like it did nicely right now, okay? So I'm going to show you a couple of more just so you could see. There's one cherry angioma right there. So I'm just going to tap on that cherry, just a couple of taps, and it's gone. It takes 2 seconds to do this treatment. That's why when I say that you can treat several imperfections in 15 minutes, I'm very honest about that. And it's definitely, your client is going to get their money's worth. So again, I'm just tapping directly on the cherry angioma. This one turned a little brown, totally normal, and that will dehydrate and that will fall off on its own. There's tiny ones right here that I'm just going to tap on, and you see how quick the treatment is. It's a couple of seconds. That's why people call this their magic eraser. There's one more right there, and you see how this one, it's red, right? You see all the redness in that cherry angioma. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on it just for a couple of seconds. Tap, 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 and it's gone. It's a couple of seconds and you just made $150. I just treated 6 cherry angiomas in a couple of minutes. And that's how quick it is, right? So that's how quick this treatment is. It's a couple of seconds and you've just added it to any existing treatment. So the ThermoClear comes with a lifetime warranty. It's manufactured in the US. It comes with all of your supplies, and it comes with training and support. That's the biggest thing, right? You want to have somebody here that you can reach out to. You want to have your questions answered. So you're always able to email me. You're always able to call our office and someone will assist you. We might be in a meeting and call you back in 5 or 10 minutes or 1 hour, but we're there for you. Clients even text me pictures of imperfections that they want to treat, but they're unsure of. And if I can clearly see the picture, and I know that it's definitely, a skin tag, I'll tell you, yes, you can treat that. If I am unsure, then, your client will, then I'll send your client, tell them to go to a dermatologist. My client's skin, just so you know, was prepped before. So if that was a question, all I did was a cleanse before. So he was ready. That area was nice and clean. Okay. Afterwards, all you would do is apply some Caladryl. It's a calamine Benadryl combination that you would use for poison ivy or for bug bites. Okay. All that helps is to calm the skin, and it helps that to dry it and starts that drying process. So the scabbing will form, right? So that's the only thing that you need. So if your client is in your treatment room, you want to do a nice cleanse, and then they can continue with the treatment. I obviously had to prep my client before, since this is only a 1 hour webinar. So he was ready. I did a nice cleanse on his back. And then now someone is applying some Caladril on for him. But that's it. It's quick, it's easy. And that's the ThermoClear system. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Well, yes, we do have questions. So let's pop in here. Hold on. And it's funny, I did a sunspot while you were doing that, because I had the machine pulled out and I was like, I'm going to do a sunspot. So it's just so fast. I love it. I also have, well, I haven't done my hands. I was actually doing a different one I had, but the photo I had sent you about the keratosis on my husband's, the side of his face.
So good. That was so good.
He was blown away. It was funny because I said something to him like, oh, aren't we supposed to do another treatment on you? Like we had forgotten about it because it went away. And then when I brought him in, I said, well, let's go look for that before picture. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's gone. Like there's nothing there.
Collage I did. So,
I mean, he was blown away. So let's go over some questions. Hold on. Okay. So first one, is there financing available? We get that question a lot.
Yes. So we do have in-house financing available. So you could put $3,000 down and the remaining balance would be over a 6-month period, interest-free, directly through ThermoClear. So it's not a third party. There's no hidden fees involved. You're not paying double for your machine. It's directly through us.
Perfect. And that's really nice that you guys do that. So Christina is asking, so you had said something about being a class 1, and then she didn't catch what you said after that. So when you were explaining that, could you clarify that?
Definitely. So it is a class 1 non-medical device. So in most states, you will not need a medical director to operate the ThermoClear system. I do want you to do your due diligence and check with your local state board. But in most states in the US, you can use this because it's not penetrating the skin. It's working right on the epidermis.
Perfect. And then Kendra's asking if it can be done after a chemical peel. And I would say not when you do a chemical peel.
Yes.
You can alternate.
Yes. So that's the only treatment that we don't recommend doing the ThermoClear after. You could do it after microneedling. You could do it after nanoneedling. You can do it after microdermabrasion. You can do a light enzyme peel and then do ThermoClear. But if you're doing any strong peels, we recommend that you wait about 2 weeks before doing the ThermoClear system.
Agreed. So Amanda's asking, are you able to do extractions and ThermoClear as an add-on to the same service?
Yes, definitely. So anything that you're doing, so let's say you're doing a facial and then you're following that with a microderm or extractions, this is at the end. So this is the last step. You're going to basically do the ThermoClear and then apply your sunblock.
Perfect. And we get these questions a lot in comparisons to other machines. So someone is mentioning that she's looking at different machines, and I guess she wants you to kind of give her the clarification of what makes the ThermoClear different, sets it apart.
Right. So ThermoClear is what sets us apart is that A, we have a lifetime warranty. B, we're manufactured in the US. And C, that our system utilizes high and low radio frequency. So you could treat any Fitzpatrick skin type without having to turn down any of your clients. So that's a big thing. A lot of these machines work only on a high frequency, which you're not able to treat clients with a Fitzpatrick 3 or higher, because then you'll hypopigment or scar the skin. That's the biggest thing with the ThermoClear device, is that if you stay directly on the imperfection, you will not hypopigment or scar the skin.
No, and that's one of the things I like about it is that, when you're doing a treatment, at first it was kind of like, okay, I want to treat all this. And then you just focus on that spot. And it's amazing how the skin around it is perfectly fine. Like all you do is have that little bit of crusting where you treated that imperfection.
Yeah, it's very, very spot specific. That's the amazing thing with the ThermoClear, because clients will say, well, how come I can't just go treat with IPL? First of all, IPL does not treat the imperfections that ThermoClear can. But it's also that ThermoClear is very spot specific. So let's say your client just has one sunspot that, needs to be treated. You can treat that with a ThermoClear because you just are very precise with that treatment.
Oh, perfect. And then Priscilla is asking, is it one probe per face or is it per skin tag?
It's one probe per face. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to use 2 probes depending on what you're treating. So if you're treating some cherry angiomas and some capillaries, but your client also has some skin tags, then you'll need to change the probe. But if you're just treating, let's say, cherry angiomas, capillaries, Milia, that's all done with the insulated probe. So you would just need to use 1 probe. But once you add in the keratosis, fibromas, or skin tags, that's when you'll need to change the probe out. So
there's 2 probes. So there's an insulated and a non-insulated probe. And this, which mine is so beat up, but this cheat sheet, which, oh, guy, I know I'm gonna have to get another. I have to send me another because mine is so wrinkly. Yeah, because I use it all the time. So the cheat sheet not only tells you this condition you're treating and tells you what to set your machine on, but it tells you what probe to use. So as Olga was saying, so if you have a few things that require an insulated probe, you won't have to add another probe. You would use 1 probe per client. But if your client's 15 minutes involves multiple things and they require different probes, then you would use 2 probes for that client, and then they get put in the sharp, so they're not reused after that at all. Roxanne says, hi Olga, hi Sheri. Hi Roxanne, thank you for saying hi. Let's see, so thank you for this Q&A. I've been researching different machines. I've had training on different machines. Do you have financing? We've already answered that. And what is the difference between the 2 different machines? And we do get that question. So between the ThermoClear and the ThermoClear Pro. So could you share that?
Yes, definitely. I'm sorry I didn't share it earlier. It was in my presentation that didn't work today. But the ThermoClear Pro is used a lot if you are going to be doing hair removal. And yes, you heard me right. The ThermoClear machine can do hair removal. It utilizes the AC current. So it's similar to a thermolysis machine, but it does not use the dual currents. It's for the single hair, more for those stubborn chin or nose hairs, the thicker, coarse hairs. So you're able to treat that with the ThermoClear. Now, the ThermoClear regular can also treat it, but on the Pro, you have a timer to help you treat the hair. And then you also have the option of not using your foot pedal for 10 seconds. So both of the systems do come with a foot pedal, and the foot pedal you use on a lot of the imperfections. But with the Pro, you have an option of not to use the foot pedal and use an auto button on imperfections such as skin tags and sunspots. So if you're trying to get really close to the eye area and want to be a little more precise, that's a great setting to have. But both of the machines can treat the same imperfections, just the Pro has a few more additional settings.
The bells and whistles, yes. Okay, and Aaron is asking, and I love this question, how long will the results last?
Okay, so the results are permanent. So skin tags, once you treat them, they're gone. Cherry angiomas, once you treat them, they're gone. Not to say that your client might not get new cherry angiomas somewhere else. Capillaries are the only things that are a little tricky to treat, right? So they're the only imperfections that require a follow-up treatment up to 2 to 3 times. And it is something that can possibly come back if your client is prone to getting capillaries. So sometimes your client can get sick and blow their nose and they're just too harsh and they can break a capillary. Or your client has rosacea and they tend to get new capillaries all the time. So my clients that are prone to capillaries are usually coming in about every 6 to 8 months for a touch-up. But other than that, Sebaceous Hyperplasia, 1 treatment and done. Milia, 1 treatment and done. So yes, for a lot of these things, the results are permanent. Again, pigmentation. Let's say your client goes out into the sun after and is not wearing sunscreen or a hat. Yes, that pigmentation can come back. That's out of your control, unfortunately.
Which, one of the things I like about that is, when your clients are getting their imperfections treated and they're seeing them go away, they're still aging. They're still going to have new things that pop up. So this is not a one and done in the sense that client A gets 1 treatment and you never see her again. Client A may get 6 things treated and 5 of them never show their face again. And then 1 capillary, because remember, our bodies just want to move that blood. So you're producing new capillaries and they can break, like she said, blowing their nose hard, going in the sun. So this is something that once clients see the results and go, wow, that's great, these are gone. And then new ones pop up, which have nothing to do with the treatment you did. This is just their body aging. They're going to come back and say, wow, I was so happy with those sunspots. I really need you to work on these sunspots. And the same thing with capillaries. So this is really nice for building a long-term relationship with clients and treating their imperfections. And trust me, they will be sending you so many people because they're gonna, they're gonna have these flawless looking hands. They're gonna have smooth looking skin, and people are gonna say, "What do you do?" Oh, I have the ThermoClear done. So they're great advertising boards for you as well. So the question Megan is asking, is it $150 for a treatment, or are you suggesting per 15 minutes or per imperfection?
Okay, so I am suggesting that you charge $150 per 15 minutes. Now, your treatment can be 30 minutes, right? So if your client has a lot of imperfections, you can do a 30-minute treatment and charge $300. I don't recommend charging per imperfection because usually your client has more than one imperfection to treat. So when you start treating them, it doesn't make sense to charge per imperfection, recommending really the $150 per 15 minutes. Of course, you're going to get that occasional client that comes in and just has 1 or 2 skin tags. And then I recommend charging anywhere from $40 to $50 just to treat 1 skin tag. But you'll see that once you start really analyzing their skin, they have a ton of imperfections for you to treat. So you could either do it in 15-minute increments where they do 15 minutes today and then come back, a week or 2 later for the other 15 minutes, or you could do, 30-minute increments. That's not a problem either. I really recommend that if your client has a lot of imperfections on their face, that you break their face up into halves or quadrants, because remember, they are going to have scabbing all over, and that will be hard for them not to pick if it's everywhere, right? So if you see that your client has a lot of pigmentation on the left-hand side and the right side, do the left-hand side, then have them come back 2 to 3 weeks later once that's healed to do the other side of their face. And we do educate you on all of this during the training.
Gotcha. And Abby is asking, what about someone who's on blood thinners?
So we recommend, if you are on blood thinners, to wait 10 days until you're off to have this treatment done, because they will tend to bleed more. So if you're treating capillaries, they'll start bleeding. We really recommend that you're off blood thinners for at least 10 to 14 days prior to using this machine.
Good answer. So Ella is asking, is there a certification after their training?
Yes, definitely. We do provide you with a training certificate. And if you ever needed to do a follow-up training, that's also available.
Okay. And then is this similar to electrolysis?
It's similar, but again, it only uses the AC current. That's why we're only using it for the stubborn chin hairs and nose hair.
Perfect. And Abby is asking, and I can tell you because I do have a high pain tolerance, but I have never needed numbing for this. But she's asking, is numbing cream needed? Do you ever use that? I don't, but what's your answer?
So numbing cream takes about 20 minutes for you to numb that area. This treatment is just a couple of seconds. I always tell my clients that beauty is pain and to suck it up. It's just a couple of seconds. But that said, if you really need to use numbing cream, you can only use numbing cream on the imperfections that need a conductor. So you can't use it on capillaries because it'll constrict the imperfection from being able to be treated. But let's say skin tags, sunspots, keratosis, you can use numbing cream, and that can be your conductor to do the treatment. But really, it's just a couple of seconds, and I promise you it'll be worth their while.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is so quick. And the really good point on the capillaries, because the numbing cream will do that. It will kind of constrict that, and you're not going to get the same result. So Hannah is asking, what step would you put this in if you're offering a regular facial? So where does it fall within the protocol?
Okay, so this is the last step of your facial. This is once you've done everything and you're ready to sunblock. So right before you sunblock, you're gonna wipe the area dry and you're gonna do the ThermoClear treatment, and then you're gonna follow up with the sunblock.
Perfect, perfect. And Ashley is asking, does the cherry angioma come back, or is that completely gone after treatment?
The cherry angioma is completely gone. There are different types of cherry angioma. So there's flat ones, there's a little bit raised, there's small ones, larger ones. If it's larger and raised, you might need 2 treatments. It'll dehydrate and shrink after the first treatment, and 6 weeks later, they'll come back and you'll follow up, and then it'll be completely gone. So, but the small cherry angiomas, they will not come back. But again, not to say that it won't come back in a different area.
Exactly. Julie is asking some other questions about the 3,000 down. So if they have more questions about, I mean, if you offer any other financing, or if you have places you can send them to, could they just email you for that?
They can contact me. I think my number's on your guys' website, but or you can go directly to our website and it's there. You can reach me direct at 818-231-2098, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Perfect. And then Priscilla's also asking, I think it's a great question, are there larger probes for bigger areas?
There are. So we have a new probe that we just came out with. It's a larger probe utilized just for skin tags. So it's not necessarily because it's a larger area, just for the thicker, larger stalks of the skin tags. But other than that, it's just these probes, and you will have amazing results.
Gotcha. And can this be done after a hydrofacial?
It definitely can. It can be done after a hydrofacial. I know that there's some glycolics and stuff, but they're super light. Again, it's just not to be done after a strong chemical peel like Jesner's, stronger Mandela glycolics, those types of peels where you're really going to peel after the treatment.
Perfect. And then, Molly was asking a question that we had earlier about the differences between them. And she had touched on that in terms of it using high and low radio frequency, allowing you to work on all Fitzpatrick. So she had touched on that one, but I saw this again. And then Anna is asking about a sunspot treatment, which is funny because that's what I was doing when she was doing the cherry angioma. So go ahead. If you want to tell them what you do with that, it's really super, super, super easy, but I'm gonna let Olga tell you.
The sunspots are super quick. You're going to apply some water, and then you're just going to do a hashtag with your probe. So it's super simple. You're just going to hold your probe like this, and then you're just going to do vertical, horizontal, and diagonal lines just by hashtagging. It's a couple of seconds. It's literally almost like painting. And then you'll actually see the sunspot get a bit darker, and that's good. Get like a coffee color, and then it'll start to dry up and scab up.
Yeah, and it's really, all I do is I take a little Q-tip with it. I have a little dish of water, and I just put that right on the sunspot. So like now there's a little bit of conductor there, and then I take my probe, which is not turned on right now, and then you just do a little bit of scratching on the surface in kind of a tic-tac-toe board, like a hashtag, right? Like that, and you just scratch the surface, and it bada bing, bada boom. It's one of the easiest things you can do. And it's amazing when you start doing 1 or 2 sunspots, all of a sudden you're under the mag lamp, you'll see about 10 more, and they'll appreciate that. Oh, okay. Rhonda, you're asking about the price of the machines. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to pop over that one more time. So don't worry about that right now. I'll review that at the end so that everybody has that information. You mentioned glasses. I purchased mine a few years ago. Where can I purchase these? So Olga, you also sell them. So if she doesn't win, you sell those. Okay.
You can press.
So ThermoClear sells the glasses and other accessories. Clients are going to ask if this is a permanent solution, or will these skin conditions come back in the same location? So we talked about that a little bit earlier, and it is going to remove many of the imperfections permanently. Things that may come back will be capillaries, and not always that capillary, but you got to remember everything kind of feeds off. And for example, if you blow your nose really hard, you can bust 10 capillaries just with one sneeze. So I would say that would be the one that you would have to think about. But many of these treatments require 1, sometimes 2 treatments. But it does not mean they're not going to get more imperfections, because they are going to continue to age, and they are going to continue to be in the sun and blow their nose and whatever has been causing the ones they have. So it means they're going to get more. So it means they can keep coming back to you for new ones. So you're not going to be retreating the old ones so much. In some cases, capillaries. Was that a good answer, Olga?
Yeah, definitely. Capillaries, pigmentation, those are the things that they might be coming back for. But I guarantee you that your client's going to come in every couple of months because they'll have something new that they want treated. So it's definitely not a one and done, and you're never going to see your client again. It might be a one and done for that imperfection, but they will be coming back for more, and they will be referring a ton of clients to you because, again, there's, nothing else out there like this.
And Kendra's asking, how's it different from BBL, the broadband light? You talked earlier about IPL, but do you want to touch on, for clients who are getting one versus the other?
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. The IPL, those are more for a larger area. Those are, for capillaries and pigmentation, but it's not for sebaceous hyperplasia. It's not for cherry angiomas. It's not for skin tags, fibromas, keratosis, and all these other things that the ThermoClear can treat. Again, this is just a lot more spot specific and can treat a lot more different imperfections, like a larger variety of things than just the BBL can treat.
And we've got so many questions. I have to go through some of these. Dana's asking why her machine won't go to 150. Hers is only going to 100. Do you have any suggestions? Is there something she can press?
She needs to hit the thermo low, thermo high button, that red button. Hit that button once, it'll automatically go to 150. Hit the button again, it'll be at 250. But if you're using your up and down arrows, it won't get to 150 on its own. So just hit that red button.
The red one. Perfect. Can you treat melasma spots?
You cannot treat melasma. Melasma is hormonal, and we don't like to give false hope. So we really say no. You can try to treat a little corner piece of it and see what the results are like, but I don't advertise treatment for melasma with our machine.
Makes sense. And would you quickly review the contraindications one more time?
The most important, the ones that are highest on the list are pregnancy, blood thinners, any kind of open wounds, blood disorders. If they have a pacemaker or metal implants, they can use the machine, but just get an okay from their doctor. But it's all out. It's all listed out on your operating manual.
Now, will someone need to get an electrolysis license if they do want to use the ThermoClear for hair removal?
Getting an electrolysis license, you would have to check in your state.
Okay. Let's see. We have so many questions, guys, and we're just about finished. So I want to make sure how close can you get to the eye if they have a Milia near the eye, or can you go on the eyelids? Can you share a little bit about that area?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can go directly on the eyelid, right under the eye. You can treat even right on the inner eye area once you get, comfortable with using the device. Yeah, you can definitely treat those areas.
Lisa is asking, after the first treatment, how long do you wait for the second if you're doing capillaries?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. I knew.
Followed 6 weeks later.
I knew everyone wanted that one, so I wanted to make sure that was in there. Here's a question about the conductor. I use water. I just use what I have here is I have a little dish, I have water, and I have a Q-tip, and then I just dab the spots with the water. Do you have any other suggestions?
No, that's exactly what I do. So, if you're a mobile spa, then you could do like a little spray bottle. You can use witch hazel, but really it's just the same thing that Sheri said. I dip a little Q-tip into water and apply it to the area that I'm treating.
And then as far as home care, keeping it dry, using that Caladrill, no picking.
Keeping it dry, not over moisturizing, no retinols after, for a few days, because you don't want to exfoliate. Really important not to exfoliate the scabs, that the scabs fall off on their own. So that's super important. And we do have a post-treatment instruction sheet that does come in your operating manual that you will be able to refer to.
Okay, and we've got, so if you can't, it's an interesting question. I think it's important to bring up. If if you cannot diagnose something, how can you tell a customer what it is? And how do you mention what you were seeing without saying it? So for example, you look at a sebaceous hyperplasia, you know it's a sebaceous hyperplasia, but we're not supposed to say, how do you answer that question when you get that?
Well, I mean, you can treat sebaceous hyperplasias, right? Because you're just dehydrating those imperfections. My biggest thing is that you treat the imperfections that you know what they are. And when you're at all in doubt, when you've done your ABCDs of cancer detection and you check for the border and the color, and when you're truly in doubt, send them to a dermatologist. And if the dermatologist does say that it is something that, you know, is within your scope, so if it is just the cherry angioma or if it is just the sunspot, then they'll come back to you to get it treated. But it's not that you can't diagnose when it's a mole or when it's something that's medical, but you could definitely treat and tell them that you're treating sebaceous hyperplasia or cherry angiomas or capillaries because it is something that you're treating on the epidermis.
True.
But if you know what it is, send them to a dermatologist. That's the biggest thing. When you don't know what it is, do not treat it.
Agree. It's better to be safe. Aaron's asking about the seborrheic keratoses, and I have a before and after of my husband's. That's amazing. It's on the Facebook group page. We might even have it on Instagram. So, and I think I did 2 treatments on him. It was like the size of a nickel. I mean, it was a good size. Yeah. So we got rid of that in 2 treatments. Do you have any before and afters of sunspots on the décolleté anywhere?
If you look on our Instagram page, we have a ton of before and after images. I'm not sure if we have any in the décolleté area, but it's treated the same way with some water, hashtag. And the only thing is if they are a little bit of a higher Fitzpatrick, then you might have a little bit of a pink undertone for probably 1 or 2 months to follow until the skin becomes flush with the rest of the skin color.
And I've seen this a couple times. What about spider veins on the legs? This is an important question.
It is. So we only treat red capillaries. We don't treat anything green, blue, or purple. So if they're tiny and they're reddish, if they're not purple, blue, or green, you can definitely dehydrate them. Anything on the legs might take a little longer because they're pulling their pants on and off, and it might, scrape up the scab. But other than that, you can treat it. Just make sure that any capillaries you are treating are not purple, blue, or green.
All right, now there's 2 more questions. I'm going to pop these answers off real quick because we do want to keep this within our time frame in case anybody has set time off on their schedule. Shelly's asking, is there going to be and there's my dog. I knew she would bark at some point. Shelly's asking, will there be a replay? And the answer is yes. It'll be on the EC YouTube channel. And then the other question is, if a client has 6 imperfections, how would you charge them if it only takes a few seconds per imperfection? It's still that 15 minutes for $150. If you want to do $90 for 10 minutes, I mean, you can do that, but you don't want to do $10, $10. You want to kind of do it per minute. And you'll be surprised. You'll probably find a few more, as Olga has said earlier. So what we're going to do, we've answered a bunch of these. There's a whole bunch of repeats. Olga's always on our Facebook group page. There's tons of ThermoClear posts. You can always post questions under any of those images and videos, and she'll be able to answer them, or I'll be able to pop in and answer them. And any of our moderators who use the ThermoClear can do that as well. So Thomas, if you would be so kind, could you pull up some of the slides we have, because I want to tell you what those 2 devices are so that you have them, so you know what's on our website. So we have 2 options for you. The first one is going to be the ThermoClear System. This is the system that you see on the screen. It comes with 100 probes, foot pedal, sharps container, marketing material, training DVD, manual training certificate. If you want a trolley, Olga can get that to you separately. Lifetime warranty, super, super important. You also get an EC Swag bundle, which is amazing. And you can pick between a Hale and Hush skincare bundle or double your supplies. It's normally $5,900. Your price is $5,400, and you get free US shipping. And then the Pro we have, so this one is the ThermoClear Pro system. This includes the system, 100 probes, foot pedal sharps, marketing, training, all of that, including the lifetime warranty. You get the swag bundle plus the Hale & Heischer double supplies. This one's $5,900, and it's normally $6,400. Both of these are on the EC website, and you can take advantage of those. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Thomas, thank you. Olga, thank you. As always, I always learn something from you. ThermoClear is amazing. It's a terrific system to add to any aesthetic practice. It's a really easy way to increase your monthly and annual income in a very effective way that builds your clientele and brings in new clientele. So Olga, thank you so much. Thomas, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheri. Thank you, Olga.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.